Hey guys, I don't know if y'all are able to hear me good or not. My name is Benjamin. I'm a federal agent for the Department of Defense. I do contract work for the FBI. I deal with scams all over the country. Um, I'm going to go ahead and be doing a scam investigation, and, I was just going to go ahead and do it live, I guess. Kind of get somebody to see how some of this stuff is done, and if you have any questions or whatever, also follow my channel. I do investigations like this every day. If I can, I was gonna try to get the other screen on here to uh, to show like the database that I use, Spillman. So um, let's see. No, that's be about it. I guess I can add it in later. I guess I never went live before this. That's the first time I did this. Um, all right, so let's get this started here. So uh, I'm gonna call him on my phone, and then we're gonna get this stuff started here. Also, for the record, I've been with DoD for 10 years, so uh, I'm dealing with U.S. bank scam right now.
Welcome to U.S. Bank Government
So,
Services. Your call may be monitored or
and
recorded
if
for
y'all was
quality
able to
purposes.
see my
Please enter your
database, I have
16-digit
a
account number.
database on this other screen here on my laptop that I add names and everything
Sorry,
into.
I didn't hear any. Please hold for you to a customer service
But I'll see
representative.
if I can figure out how to add this in the
You have been selected to
editing or
participate
something
in a
if I can.
two-question survey. Simply remain on hold at the end of your call. Thank you for calling customer service. My name is Rob. May I start your name, please?
Hi, Rob. I dealt with you before. You remember me? I'm the agent for DoD.
I do, and you'll need to get transferred to somewhere else.
Well, yeah. See, now they won't waste my
Welcome
time.
to Card Member Service. All of our representatives are helping someone. Please stay on
Jesus.
the line, and the
Let's see
representative
if
will
I
help
can
you
figure
as
out how
soon as
to add
possible.
this on the screen. Let's see here.
Thank you for waiting. Please stay on the line, and the representative will help you as soon as possible.
There's just nothing to do on this except try to make a video. I don't know how I'm gonna add that other screen into this so y'all can see my database.
Thank you for waiting. Please stay on the line, and the representative will help you as soon as possible.
I'm in my home office right now, by the way, in case y'all are wondering. So, and I've been a federal agent for 10 years, so if anybody's just coming on, um, I'm a federal agent for DOD. I deal with scams on a daily basis.
Thank you for waiting. Please stay on the line, and the representative.
I deal with scams on a daily basis, and I'm dealing with scams right now, just like usual. Let's call them back and see if we can get somebody with some more common sense.
To U.S. Bank Government Services, your call may be monitored or recorded for quality purposes. Please enter your 16-digit account number.
Well, it has my
Sorry,
webcam
I
on,
didn't hear anything. Please enter your.
so
Please hold while
Maybe I can add this in edit or something. Maybe I'm able to add it in the editing.
You have been selected to participate in a two-question survey. Simply remain on the line at the end of your call. Welcome to Card Member Service. All of our representatives are helping someone. Please stay on the line, and a representative will help you as soon as possible.
Yep, this is the real-life version of federal agents sitting at a desk, or in my case, at a desk at home, sitting here having to deal with scammers all over the country. So at least I get paid good. You got health care and stuff. So.
Thank you for calling U.S. Bank Government. My name is Betsy. May I start with your first and last name, please?
Hi, how do you spell your name?
Betsy.
What state are you in, Betsy?
I'm in Idaho. I need to transfer your call to
Right.
specialist. Hold
No,
on
you
just a
don't.
moment.
No, you don't. All right. Waste my damn time some more. That's nice.
Welcome to Card Member Service. All of our representatives are helping someone. Please stay on the line, and a representative will help you as soon as possible.
See what I have to deal with? See this? This is paperwork and red tape at its fullest. This is bureaucracy for you. So, I actually hate red tape, for the record. But whatever. For some odd reason.
Thank you for waiting.
I'll see if it shows all this or not. Hopefully it does, but we'll see. We'll see if it does. U.S. Bank scam.
Hello, and thank you for calling Card Member Service. My name is Shannon. May I please get started with me?
Hi, I've already dealt with you, Shannon. So let me ask you something. Do you think that if you're U.S. Bank, you would be sitting here trying to scam people? You don't have a point of contact. You don't have a way to validate me for me to get a government card. Okay. And I've had to sit here and deal with y'all for 6 months. You're under the impression that I'm supposed to call someone to get a card within the DOD. They don't deal with cards like that. And they haven't did that since the 1950s. And for all federal agencies within the United States now, the banks deal with the cards. And I know because I actually have a government fuel card right here in my pocket. It's a government fuel card, and right now what I'm doing, I'm documenting all of this for the whole damn world to see, because I'm getting tired of dealing with this and dealing with you, because I know you're not U.S. Bank. I am a federal agent. I'm DOD. What I'm doing right now is actually contract work for the FBI that I do, dealing with scammers all over the country. And I'm on a federal database. I actually have two screens in front of me. One is documenting everything. The other one is a federal database called Spillman, which is what I use to document all of your names. And I already have your name, Shannon. And in fact, if I remember right, and actually what I'll do is this, I'll just pull up your document here, and then I'll see what state you're in, because I already have all that. And I've dealt with you, and I've dealt with Chris, I think his name was, and hell, what were some of the other ones? I'm going to pull all that up here in a second, because I'm tired of dealing with y'all. And I've already decided to do twice. I've got the FBI involved. I've did basically every damn thing that I know that I can do to bring you to justice, to figure out what the hell is going on here. And all of this is being broadcasted live right now anyway, on YouTube. And so I am legit anyway. So I added Betsy in here, Betsy. But I also have numerous other name records at this point for y'all. I'm on my federal database now on my laptop. and I'm going to go ahead and pull up the U.S. Bank Voyager, which is actually y'all, but I have y'all as Voyager. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just, we're going to go to businesses, and then we're going to go ahead and do U.S. Bank Voyager, and then I'm going to pull your stuff up, Shannon, because I've dealt with you a number of times now. And in order for you to be doing government cards, you have to have a point of contact to do government cards. You can't just sit there and say, well, we're U.S. Bank, so we can do it how we want. That's not how this works. And I am legit. I'm with the DOD. And you sat there and said, oh, well, we do stuff for DOD all the time. No, you don't. Because 6 months ago when I called you, you would have pulled me up in DIS and JPass and validated that I'm DOD, and you would have sent me a government purchase card to help me with my job. Now, aside from getting the FBI and other people involved, I'm now broadcasting it nationwide for the world to see that I'm having to deal with you. And I don't know if they can see the database or not, but that's irrelevant anyway. I mean, it has your names and stuff on it, but since you're a scam, it doesn't really matter that much. And I've dealt with you, and in fact, I have your record right here, Shannon. So let's pull that up. Phone rep created 4/22/21, and then Kansas. Yeah. So, and I'm tired of dealing with you. And what I'm going to end up doing, I'm going to get the FBI on the phone too while I'm at it to figure out what I need to do next, because I'm tired of dealing with all this. And I've had to deal with y'all for about 6 months. Who's your point of contact for federal agents?
And we are unable to give out information
Okay.
on your point
Right.
of contact.
No, you're not either. The way this works is that you would get them on the phone with me. That's how this works. And this is all being broadcasted nationwide and worldwide on the internet now, since you're idiots and a scam. I am legit. I am a federal agent, and I'm tired of dealing with you. I deal with scams all over the country. In fact, this is probably what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to make a channel specifically for investigating scammers. So, and then we can figure out what to do from there. All of this is being documented. You just sat here and lied, by the way, on a recording. You said, well, we can't disclose that. It's a point of contact. That means that they would get on, if you actually had one of those, which you don't. Because when I call you and say, hey, I'm DOD, you're supposed to get them on the phone with me to validate me, and then you would send me a card. That's how this works. So sitting there and saying, well, we can't provide you the point of contact. So that doesn't make any damn sense. You have to get them on the phone with me. I'm not asking what their name is, even though they introduce themselves to me anyway when they get on the phone. That's the polite thing to do. Instead of that, you're sitting here wasting the federal agent's time for 6 months. And now I just now decided to start doing YouTube videos of this crap so the world can see what I have to deal with on a daily basis. Being a federal agent for the Department of Defense, being special operations, being former military, and doing contract work for the FBI, what I have to deal with on a daily basis. I know the FBI people would agree with me too. There's red tape in this, yeah. But I hate having to sit here and deal with a bunch of idiots like yourselves. You just sat here and told me you have a point of contact. If that was true, then you would have got them on the phone with me 6 months ago, and they would have asked me, hey, what databases are you in? And I would have said DIS and JPass, which is the DOD databases. And then they would have validated me, and then you would have sent me a card. Now you're sitting here saying, well, yeah, we have a point of contact, but we can't disclose who that is. All of that is crap. At this point, you're considered a terrorist group, in fact, and that's from the FBI standpoint. You're considered by me a group of scammers. You're probably overseas someplace. I'm going to make sure to let the world know that you're claiming to be in Kansas, Shannon. You're claiming to be U.S. Bank. Your main number for this damn scam, whatever the hell it is 888-994-6722. And I've had to sit here and deal with you now for 6 months, and I'm a federal agent for the Department of Defense. And you sat here and wasted my time for 6 months. You don't have a point of contact. You were sitting here playing stupid with me. And now the whole damn world knows it. So I'm glad I'm making this video for a number of reasons. One, I am the real deal. I actually showed my government card on my video here, so they know I'm legit. If my federal database shows on the video, they would definitely know that I'm legit, because nobody else has Spillman but law enforcement. That's what I'm on right now. That's what I use to document you. That's what I use to do my citations. Mine is monitored by the FBI and State Department, and I know because they told me. And I've had to sit here and deal with you for 6 months. If you had a point of contact, you would have got them on the phone with me already. That's what would have happened. And sitting there saying, well, we have one, but we can't tell you, that is crap. Because if you have one, they're the ones with security clearance. They are the ones that can access my database and validate me. That's how that's done. It's under federal law. It's the 1988 Government Travel Act. That's why every federal agency in the United States uses banks to do government cards. That is exactly why. And the DOD, which back then it was the War Department, has not did something like that, like an ALPC, which there's no such thing as an ALPC. Everything I'm saying is being recorded. I know it's true because I am DOD. And I'm in DIS and JPass and DEERS because I'm former military. Now, if you're talking about a military card, which is not even close to what I've been trying to get this whole damn time, I'm focused on getting the government purchase card. I already have a fuel card. I need a purchase card. In order for you to be doing government cards of any kind, in fact, you would need a federal point of contact. Hell, even if you're just doing military cards, let's say for a second you're doing military, you would still need a point of contact to validate me in DEERS. I have a DEERS record too, so you would run into the same problem. And right now, all of this is being documented, which I'm glad, because I am sick and tired of dealing with idiots like this and having to sit here and call y'all and use my federal database to do name records and citations and everything else. I'm right here in my damn home office on my laptop dealing with you, doing paperwork, sitting here doing name records and everything else. I got my French door refrigerator right behind me with a bunch of drinks and stuff in it, so I don't have to go anywhere to get a drink or some food. This is going to take a while. And also, because I have qualified immunity, and because this is part of my job, I'm going to keep calling you as many times as it takes. And no, it isn't harassment. It's me doing and conducting an investigation into a national security risk, into a group of terrorists, and to a group that is sitting here risking national security and violating federal law and committing felonies and misdemeanors, which would be you. And I have a master's in law, and I have a CPR and failed state AED license, and I'm a licensed banker. What else? I got a bunch of credentials and stuff on my wall. And I got my military papers right here too, which I might show the people of the world on my video. I don't care. The military stuff isn't classified necessarily, and then my credentials isn't classified because I got them hanging on my wall. And I've had to sit here and figure out who you actually are. Which, while I'm at it, I got FCC licensing and all kinds of crap from my military service, including paralyzed military honors, fallen veterans, all kinds of stuff here. And and then I also have a master's in law and a bachelor's in English literature. and I speak multiple languages. So, and I banked overseas too. So just throw that in there. Um, I don't know who you're supposed to be. I called DCISA, Defense Counterintelligence Security Agency. And reached out to them on this. They don't know. They just told me to report it to the OIG's office, which I've already did. I reached out to the FBI in DC. They told me that you can be considered terrorist. I called the U.S. Marshal's office. They told me I tried to get them to back me up on this. So I don't know what else to do now except just to let the world know what the hell is going on here. Because I am going to cite you, I am charging you on paper at least on my federal database for all of this. Whether the FBI or NSA or other agencies pick it up is up to them. But I am DOD.
Okay.
Do you have anything to ask me, to have any comments on Western national security?
And then my answer would be the exact same as it has been the past
Right.
4 days here. Without a card number or reaching out to your AOPC, we are unable to assist.
There's no such thing as an ALPC, and I don't have a card number yet, so that doesn't make any sense for you to ask me if I have a card number when I don't even have one yet.
And if you don't have
And
a
then
card,
you're sitting there talking about an
your
ALPC. What do you think an ALPC is? Because that doesn't exist. What do you think that is?
It's an authorized officer program coordinator.
That doesn't exist. That's not a real person. That's not. If they do exist, they're not called that. And I've already spoken to the Pentagon on this personally. I have every number on my flip phone with every department within the Pentagon, basically every single department. And I called them. I even called the front desk about this. And they told me that you're a scam because the point of contact is not in the Pentagon. I don't call somebody in the Pentagon and sit there and say, hey, I need a government card. That's not how this works. That is not how this has worked in 70 plus years. And then for y'all to sit there and say, well, you have to contact an ALPC, sorry, but no, I don't. Because I already have a fuel card and I didn't do any of that crap to get my fuel card. Because that person does not exist. The way that this works under federal law, in fact, this is the 1988 Federal Travel Act, which you're in violation of. So you can be charged for the felony for this crap anyway. But the way that this actually works, I call a bank, I say, hey, I'm DOD, I need this kind of card, you validate me, and then you send me the card. At no point do I contact anybody but the bank itself. That is how this works. That is under federal law. And I've had to sit here and deal with my state law enforcement agency and an FBI agent, which the FBI agent was actually pretty nice. The one recently, there was another FBI agent that came to my house and told me I'm good with what I do. Just make sure I tell people I'm contracted, which I do. It says it on my paperwork. It says it. I've said it on video now twice that I do contract work for the FBI, independent contract work, I should say, I guess, but contract work, same thing. So I don't know what the deal is here with you. And you're talking about something that doesn't even exist. You keep bringing up ALPC. There's no such thing as an ALPC. And in fact, I'm a remote agent for the DOD. That's why I'm at home right now. Even though, the virus and stuff, but I've been home the entire damn time. I'm a remote agent for the DOD. And I fall under special operations, which is what I am on special operations. So the only people that are above me would be the governor, the inspector general, the attorney general, the undersecretary, secretary of defense, and POTUS. And depending on the situation, depends on who would contact me. I've been sniper, hand-to-hand, match, points trained, law enforcement, military, SWAT, and special ops trained, along with counterintelligence, counter surveillance, and survival. And while I was undergoing all of that training, I also underwent what's called a whole life evaluation. And that's where they review your entire life and give you, assign you, I should say, they actually assigned you a security clearance based on what you need to do your job and what job you qualify for, too. So I was basically selected for the highest of the high, pretty much, which is special operations. Now I still have to go into the Pentagon every now and again to deal with getting credentials replaced, like what I'm having to do now. But here's the fun thing. I get to sit here and deal with scammers all over the country doing independent contract work for the FBI. And I'm pretty sure that the FBI knows that I'm DOD. I'm 95% sure of that because they, from what I knew, they were supposed to help out with the whole life evaluation, but then I was told by DC that they don't. That it's actually the agency and the State Department, but they'd still figure it out. I mean, I'm sure that when they did an 8-9 months investigation into me, that they found out that yeah, I'm DOD because I'm in DIS and JPass. I'm the real deal. And then I have to sit here and deal with idiots like you, and you're just saying the same damn thing you said 5, 6 other times. You said, well, you have to contact an ALPC, which does not exist. That doesn't exist. And I'm making sure that I'm not violating any kind of rules or anything for YouTube. I'm being very professional. I deal with scammers all over the country every day like this. And I'm dealing with you as a scam, even though the FBI told me to consider you a group of terrorists. That's what they said. They said you can be charged for cyber terrorism, for sitting there violating national security, risking national security. You're also violating federal laws with the Federal Travel Act. Here's another fun fact: I can do everything a cop can do, but I have a higher authority. I have federal jurisdiction, so I can pull people over. I can arrest people. I can do citations. I can do incident reports. I can do name records, which that's what I'm doing on you: name records, citations, incident reports, business records. So I don't know what your deal is, so. And then I have to sit here and figure out, well, do I sit here and charge you directly and do a citation on you? Do I sit here and figure out what do I need to do with this? You know? And I'm live right now, but I don't know if it's going to anyone or not. It's supposed to be going online. But I don't know how many people's watching. So. And right now, I'm trying to figure out who you actually are. I'm tired of dealing with you. I know you're not U.S. Bank. I called the U.S. Marshal's office to kick your door in and detain and arrest every one of you on grounds of national security. I also called the U.S. Marshal's office to assist me in locking your building down to figure out what's going on with this. I love Coca-Cola. So, yeah, advertised placement, whatever. But, so I don't know what the deal is here with you. I'm tired of dealing with you. I've already cited you twice. So there's not really a lot more that I can do aside from keep calling you like this, doing videos like this, and dealing with you over and over and over and over. Now, I've been on here for 30 minutes. I don't think anybody's even watching me. They're probably busy doing other stuff. It doesn't matter. I'm sure I'll get a lot of views on this. So, and then I have to sit here and figure out, well, what do I do now? You know, and I'm going to keep doing videos. In fact, I'm going to deal with another scam after this one and make another video on another scam. And make sure to like and subscribe and everything too, by the way, whoever watches this. But I'm tired of dealing with y'all. I know you're a scam. I've dealt with you, Shannon. I've dealt with a number of y'all. In fact, I'm going to pull all your records up here just so I can make a point. So, right here, there is, yeah, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 9 name records. And then I have citations, incident reports. I have a business file on y'all. And actually, here's another weird thing. You're in Kansas. And I've had other people in Colorado. I've had people in Idaho. I've had people in New Mexico. That doesn't make a lot of sense either, unless you're just bouncing me around all over the place. So.
And we do have different service centers located in different states.
Yeah, how convenient. Well, I know you're not U.S. Bank. I am legit. I did everything I possibly can. And you're going to end up being charged with felonies and misdemeanors and risking national security. If I have to, I'll kick your door in myself. But here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that you're not U.S. Bank. I'm certain of it. Banks don't sit here and impede federal investigations. Banks don't sit here and waste a federal agent's time like this for months. They don't sit here and say, well, good luck with that when I tell you, hey, you're under investigation for felonies, misdemeanors, risking national security, violating federal law, claiming that you do government cards without a point of contact, which by itself is a felony. You have no way to validate that I'm a federal agent, so that's a red flag. And I've been with the DOD Special Operations for 10 years, which that doesn't count as a subdivision, by the way. It doesn't, because I'm a remote agent, so I have no subdivision. But remote agents fall under Special Operations because we're remote agents. So I would get a call to go. I'm like an asset in the movie, pretty much. I would get a call, and I'm the real one. But I would get a call to go out and do a green light assassination or whatever, just like a Green Beret, SEAL team, all that other stuff. Those are special operations within the military. I'm basically JSOC, Joint Special Operations Command, which I don't know if that they're a subdivision or not, but but that's what I would fall under. But I'm a remote agent for the DOD. I'm a civilian employee, remote federal agent. And what really pisses me off is I have a backstop ID that I got to go by, and it really pisses me off because I have to sit here and it makes me 20, 25 years younger than I actually am. For reference, I grew up as a kid with Nintendo Entertainment System from 1985. And I grew up with floppy disks and arcades and, the arcade video games, Atari, theaters, VCR tapes, box TVs, most of which most people nowadays won't even remember. And I grew up with that. That's what I grew up with as a teenager. Aside from PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, GameCube, and some other stuff throughout the 90s, but that's what I grew up with. And I don't even count my birthday anymore for a number of reasons. One, I have a backstop ID, so ain't no point in it. Two, I'm like 40-something years old now, estimated. And I say estimated because I don't actually know how exactly old I am. I can tell you what I grew up with, but that's about it. So, and I don't know really what to do on your end with you because I know you're not U.S. Bank. All of this is being streamed live right now to the freaking world. So I hope somebody's watching this. I would think, I would hope. So that way I can at least figure out, well, what do I do with you people and how do I deal with you? And there's so much red tape involved in being a federal agent. It's ridiculous. And he makes my job a real pain in the ass. It really does. And then I have to deal with local LEOs and the county and the state and sit here and say, yeah, I'm actually DOD. But I don't have my PVAC, which that shouldn't matter because I'm still an agent on databases, even though that kind of complicates stuff. And there's people that you can call to validate me through DIS and JPass, but I don't know if they would bother with that or not. And then I have to sit here and I deal with scammers all over the country. So I deal with bank fraud, contract fraud, illegal business practices, telecommunications fraud. Hell, I even investigate police departments too. By the way, I investigate police officers for official misconduct and use of force policy violations. I watch videos on YouTube and watch officers screw up. And then I have to sit there and call their departments and file their names on my database and do records on their PD departments and get the FBI involved with them. Here's another fun fact. All the cases that I deal with on my database that I'm on right now, the FBI can see every case that I open and that I deal with. And the State Department can too. And the FBI has actually dealt with a number of my cases without me even knowing it. They're probably dealing with yours while I'm at it. So you want to get me to your manager or somebody that's in charge of you so we can figure out what to do with this. There is no ALPC. That does not exist. So you can quit telling me that because that's a waste of my time. There is no such person. So you can go ahead and get me to your manager or your boss so we can figure out what to do before I decide to go to a judge and do a summons and charge you with national security risks, terrorism, felonies, misdemeanors, and have to get ATTF and the NSA and other agencies involved. I don't feel like doing that for a number of reasons. One, there's only two options here. You're either U.S. Bank or you're not. And if you're not U.S. Bank, then you'd be a scam. If you are U.S. Bank, that's actually worse than that. Because that means that not only have you sat here and wasted a federal agent's time for 6 months on purpose and impeding a federal investigation for 6 months on purpose, but you're also committing terrorism and risking national security and sitting here lying to a federal agent and claiming that I'm supposed to call other people to get a card when no, I'm not at all. And the DOD, the DOJ, Homeland, they don't have people call them and say, or CIA, they don't have people call them and say, hey, I need a card. They don't do that because they don't deal with cards. Nobody in any federal agency deals with the federal cards. The banks do. Now, there's some agencies, federal agencies that deal with cards, but that's on a case-by-case basis, and that's only specific cards. A good example of that would be Department of Energy. Department of Energy works with the Defense Logistics Agency, and they have a version of a government card, but it's only for Department of Energy personnel, because I looked into it. So the other cards that would be for remote agents such as myself for the DOD would come from a bank, which all cards come from a bank. That's common sense. And these kind of cards that would be like a credit card does not require a credit check because it's based on the fact that I'm a federal agent. And here's another bonus to me being a federal agent. I have good health care. I have, in fact, my health care is covered by my employee. So is my federal database that I use. You know how much this database costs? $8,000 a year. That's how much this database costs. That's around 6, 7, something like that a month, 700 a month, something like that, 800. So, and well, about 700, something like that, 600. So about $700 a month for this database, but it's charged annually. It's about $9,000 a year. I don't have to even pay for this database for Spillman. My agencies pay for it. In fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the FBI is paying for it for me because I'm doing contract work for them. But I'm also DOD, so it could be either one. But the database itself has FBI contracted employee on it, so I'm pretty sure that they're paying for it. Somebody is. So I don't know what to do with you. You can go ahead and get your boss on the phone so we can figure out what to do next. So I don't have to sit here and keep calling and citing and doing name records and wasting my time with you idiots. I've already established the fact that you're not U.S. Bank. The only other step that I would do at this point is putting you in front of a judge and charging you with terrorism and felonies and misdemeanors. I don't think you understand the situation that you're in. I think you think that, well, even if we are U.S. Bank, we can get away with it. No, you can't get away with it. And there's specific standards in place for government cards for national security reasons. And that is why banks that do these cards have to have points of contact to validate people that call you and say, hey, I'm an agent. Otherwise, you would just be giving out these cards to anybody, and we can't have that. So, and I've already contacted the DOD on this. They told me you're a scam, which I already know. Because the DOD does not deal with government cards. And in fact, the only department, DFAS, which I think they're actually outside the Pentagon, but it's ran within the Pentagon. But DFAS, all they do is reimbursement. So if I pay out of pocket or if you send me an invoice, they would pay it for me, kind of like how the Bureau or whoever is paying for my database for me. I don't have to pay for my database because I use it for work, for my job. And that's how I document names and incident reports and citations, and it's all monitored and audited 24/7 anyway. And so I don't know what's going on with this. And let's say that you are U.S. Bank. That means that a bank has sat here and impeded a federal investigation, wasted a federal agent's time, sat here and violated federal law, committed terrorism. So, yeah, I'm going to do everything I can to suck you down and storm every one of your bank locations and arrest every one of you and hold you all accountable. Even if it is just 10, 15 people out of the bunch, those 10, 15 people, including you, are going to be the reason why every single U.S. bank is going to be stormed by the FBI and the state troopers. And I'll make sure of it, and the U.S. Marshals. Because y'all have sat here and wasted my time. I'm special ops. I work for DOD. I do contract work for FBI. I'm one of the most highly trained individuals that there is in my area. I'm more trained than the FBI is, and they know that. And in my DEERS record, it actually shows most of my training: sniper, points, hand-to-hand, special training, SWAT, special operations, military, and law enforcement, which is basically everything under the sun, including points. The DOD, the DIS and JPAS files that I have within the Pentagon has that same training listed, and it also has that I'm a remote federal agent. It has my name, DOD, my ID number, which is like my badge number. My DOD ID would be my badge ID, my credentials. So I've been a federal agent for 10 years. And because of my bat-stopped ID, and because people think I'm young, because I don't know how old I look, Some people say I look in my 20s. Some people say I look 50. So, which I could be 50, but I don't know what to tell you. You need to go ahead and get your boss on the phone before I decide to storm every one of your buildings on the grounds of terrorism.
Gotcha. And I'll bring them on the line in one moment.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, this is a normal day for me. Yeah. Got handcuffs too. So, and a 9mm. I don't know if y'all can see this or not. I'm not even sure. Never bothered with live video or whatever because I don't know. Yeah, my family's trying to sleep anyway, so I hate dealing with these idiots. I do. Also, if you can see this is the drink that I was drinking. So, but yeah, I'm actually a really nice guy. I know the light's probably getting in the way. Let's see if I can fix that. Nope, still in the way in the background there. Yep. And it says one person. This is 4727. So I don't know what else to do with this. I'm just gonna, I guess, make a video on it. And then it'll just end screen and it'll let me adjust it and see if I can add this into it. I guess like how to do the pop-ups or whatever, if I can. Like the different screen on one side and then the video on the other side. If anybody knows how to do that, let me know so I can put my database up here like it is on my computer so y'all can see it with all the names and stuff that I have to deal with. Also, I have CAD on here, but I'm not going to bring up CAD. No point in that. I'm just doing a name record right now on them. So, you got me on hold. Okay. They're wasting my time. Let's try this. Call them back. Let's try it now. See how it goes.
Welcome to U.S. Bank Government Services.
And see, you notice that? They say, welcome to U.S. Bank Government
Please enter your
Services.
16-digit account
They're
number.
not U.S. Bank. They're not government services at all.
Sorry, I didn't hear anything. Please enter your... Please
They're
hold
not
while we
government
transfer you
services.
to a customer
I'm
service
government.
representative.
They're not. It's really pissing me off.
You've been selected to participate in a 2-question survey. Simply remain on the line.
Also,
End of your
check out
call.
some of my
Welcome
other
to Card Member
videos.
Service. All of our representatives are helping someone.
I have
Please
some of
stay on
my
the line, and a
POV
representative
government
will help you
vehicle.
as soon as possible.
I don't think
Thank you for
I know
calling.
what this is.
Thank you for calling U.S. Bank Government Services. This is Christopher.
Hi, Christopher. I've dealt with you before, I think. This is Agent Ben with the DOD. I've dealt with you before. And right now, I have 2 different screens in front of me. I got Spillman on my right, and I got YouTube going on my left. And I'm documenting all this on YouTube now because I figure, what the hell? I've already determined for a fact that you're a scam. I know that for a fact. I've had to sit here and deal with y'all for 6 months. I'm special operations for the DOD. All of this is being recorded. I am the real deal, and you're a scam. And when I called the FBI in DC, which I did 2, 3 months ago, okay, they told me you can be charged for terrorism. They told me to consider you a group of terrorists. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and just consider you a group of scammers. And I get paid to deal with scammers. I deal with scammers all over the country. I've been a federal agent for 10 years. I have a master's in law, bachelor's in English literature. I speak multiple languages. I'm former military. I am sniper points, hand-to-hand, hand-to-hand combat, survival, counterintelligence, counter surveillance, SWAT, special operations, military, and law enforcement trained. While I was, and that's for the DOD stuff, but before that, I was military trained. And while I was doing all that and doing maps and hand-to-hand and all that stuff, they did what they call a whole life evaluation, where they assigned me a security clearance to do my job. I'm the highest that there is on the chain of command, aside from the Inspector General, the Secretary of Defense, and POTUS. Because I'm what they call special operations. That's what remote agents fall under. I'm the guy that they would call to take out a terrorist cell. I'm the one-man army guy that they would call. I'm the most highly trained individual in my area. I'm more trained than the FBI in my area, and they know that. And I do contract work for the FBI. They actually pay for my database. I can't say that for sure. I know somebody does. I don't. It's $8,000 a year. I've had this database for 3 years. But I know for a fact that you're a scam. I wouldn't be having to deal with this if you was actually a bank. Banks don't sit here and impede investigations. Banks don't sit here and say, well, good luck with that, when I tell them that, hey, you're under investigation. Here's the situation. Here's what's going on. Here's what's going to end up happening if it keeps happening, if it keeps going on. And with y'all, it's just like, well, we're a U.S. bank, so we can do whatever we want. Ha, ha, ha. And no, you can't do whatever you want. I don't care what bank you are. I don't care how much money. I'm a federal agent. If I needed to, I could storm every single one of your damn buildings on the grounds of national security, which I already have the authority to do. And because you're sitting here doing government cards without a point of contact, that is a risk to national security. When I called the FBI field office in D.C., the D.C. field office, they told me I can consider you terrorist. I'm not going to do that, even though I could. I'm going to consider you a group of scammers. And now what I will do, and what I've been working on doing, is kicking the door into the main office building and going, hey, DOD agent, you're under investigation and you're being detained on grounds of national security under a national security directive. And we're going to find out what's going on here. And in order for you to be a bank and do government cards, you have to follow the federal laws that govern government cards, one of those being what's known as the Federal Travel Act, 1988. What that does is it allows federal agents like me to sit here and call you and say, hey, I'm DOD. I need a government purchase card to help me with my job. And then you would have a point of contact, validate that I'm DOD and DIS and JPass, which I'm in, and DEERS, because I'm part of the military, like I said. And they would say, this guy's DOD. And then the bank would send me a card. And you know how long that takes, including delivery? It takes about 7 to 10 days to get to me. Altogether, it takes less than 2 weeks for everything. You know how long I've been dealing with you? 6 months. And in the time that I have been dealing with you, I've actually already gotten me a government fuel card from a different bank. And this bank knew that number one, there's no such thing as a POIC or freaking LIT, whatever the hell you call that crap, ALPC, whatever. There's no such thing as that at all. There's not. And the DOD has not did something like that since the 1950s. I don't know where the hell you're getting your info from. In fact, I called the front desk about this. And they told me that you're a scam because the only way that those cards would work, which this is under that law anyway, but the way that these cards work is I call a bank, I say, hey, I'm with this agency. If it was necessary, I would ask you, do you service my agency? But considering that you're claiming to be an all agency kind of bank, then that wasn't really necessary for this. And then I would say, I'm DOD, I need a government purchase card, which I did 6 months ago. And then you would sit there and validate me through what's known as a point of contact. And then that point of contact would get a hold of you and they would say, yeah, he's DOD, and you would send me a card. I've had other people sit here and say, well, yeah, we have a point of contact, but we can't disclose that, or we can't get them on the phone with you. How do you think this is supposed to work? I mean, I'm curious because you think that I'm supposed to call somebody. Did you know that that's not even possible? I don't think you did. Did you know that if I was to call somebody in the Pentagon and be like, hey, I need you to call so-and-so, I need you to call a bank to tell them that I'm DOD, you know what they would tell me? Folks, they would tell me that, well, we can't do that because all of your files are classified and it's protected under the Privacy Act and the Classified Act, for one. They'd also be like I'm the stupid one because that's not how this is even done. The only card that the Pentagon even deals with is TAC and PVAC. TAC for military, PVAC for federal agents. So PVAC, by the way, is personal verification, identification, access card, which is my credentials that I have to get replaced at the Pentagon. TAC stands for Common Access Card. So I don't have time to sit here and deal with whatever, because at this point you're under federal investigation. As a bonus, all of this is being recorded and being directly uploaded into YouTube because I'm actually live streaming all of this because I am the real deal. I've been DOD for 10 years. I figured, what the hell, I might as well live stream it and let the world know what I have to deal with on a daily basis so maybe they can understand my job a little bit. And I have to deal with scammers on a daily basis and deal with terrorists and deal with bank fraud and national security risk and all kinds of stuff. And with y'all, it's not just, well, we're just pretending to be a bank anymore. At first, that's what it was. Now it's, we're pretending to be a bank, we're risking national security, we're wasting the federal agent's time and impeding the federal investigation. And if it was up to me, which most of it is, I'm the lead on the case, so it kind of is. But I'm going to go ahead and, which I'm not too invested in this case because I deal with other cases too. So I'm not emotionally compromised as far as that goes. But what I am is kind of pissed off, in all honesty, because I've had to deal with y'all for 6 months. Now, granted, I'm supposed to stay professional and cool-headed and professional. But after a while, when you've been on the job as long as I have, and you sit here and deal with the same crap every day, it really just gets old, boring, tiresome after a while. And then you're sitting at a desk, which actually I'm in my house. I'm a remote agent, but I have a home office. And I'm sitting here at my desk and I'm looking into my laptop because I'm documenting all of this just for the record so everyone can see this, what I have to deal with. And I have you on the phone and I'm sitting here dealing with you and I'm dealing with a Thank US Bank.
That may be able to assist you further.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't catch that.
Do you mind if I may be able to assist you
Oh,
further?
really? I thought you was a specialist. I dealt with somebody that said, well, it says here I got to transfer you over to a specialist. And then they transferred me over to Amanda. Yeah. And then she transferred me over to you and said that you're a supervisor. So I would guess that that's not true. So here's what I would tell you. All of you are under federal investigation, which you are right now. I'm conducting a federal, which this is being recorded anyway, which most involvements of law enforcement and stuff are recorded anyway, so it doesn't matter. Plus, I can use this for evidence for me.
Transfer you over to an individual who can help you.
Yeah,
further.
you go ahead and do that. Transfer me to whoever you feel like. I don't really care. I know I'm legit.
1 moment here.
Piss people off. If I can find a way to add this onto the screen, I will. In case y'all didn't hear that, I said that if I can find a way to add this to the screen on the video, I will.
I have the specialist here who would be able to further assist you.
Yeah, what's their name?
Hello, am I speaking with Benjamin?
Yeah, who are you?
Hi there. Benjamin is Francis. I'm the overnight manager here. I guess you called back again.
Francis. Okay. What branch are you? Well, what exactly is your position? Are you a manager or what?
I'm the operations manager here.
Okay. And what city and state are you in?
How may I help you, Benjamin?
What state are you in? You're under investigation right now, Francis. And here's the deal. You can be charged with terrorism at this point. I'm a federal agent for DOD. All of this is being documented. I have you on a federal database, which is monitored by the FBI and the State Department. Okay. And I've had to sit here and deal with you for 6 months and deal with your people for 6 months. I've dealt with David. I've dealt with Amanda. I've dealt with Dolores or whatever the hell her name was. And I've dealt with the other guy. So, and now I'm dealing with you. If you're actually U.S. Bank, the way that this works under federal law, I don't give a damn what your policies are. I don't, because your policies are irrelevant at this point. When you're dealing with government cards, you have to follow the laws that govern those cards. You can't sit there and say, well, because we're U.S. Bank, we'll do it our way. You don't have that option. And doing that is a felony. Then on top of that, you're putting national security at risk. And I called the FBI about this. You know you can be charged for terrorism? Do you know that?
Benjamin, how may I help you?
I'm calling to get a government purchase card. I'm a federal agent for the DOD. There is no such thing as an ALPC. That does not exist. Who is your point of contact? Who is your point of contact? That's what I want to know.
Benjamin, you just asked to be assisted with something, right? I need some information
Like what? Hell, you're supposed to have a point of contact. Get on the phone with me. That's what's supposed to happen here.
Benjamin, did you ever have a card with us?
It doesn't matter. I have a government card right now, not with you, but it's done the exact same way. It doesn't matter what bank you are. That's irrelevant.
We that relationship.
No, it isn't. No, it is not relevant. Are you U.S. bank this way? Are you a bank? No, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to document you. You're being documented on the federal database. And I'm going to go ahead and charge you with terrorism. That's what I'm going to do. Because I'm DOD and I'm not dealing with this bullcrap from you. Do you understand? So I'm going to go ahead. What state are you in? In fact, I'll trace this damn call right now. We're going to figure this out. Because I ain't dealing with this.
If you're not going to give me enough information, that's what I'm going to ask you to do.
No, I don't need to give you any damn info. You're the one being investigated by me right now. You're the one under investigation. You answer my questions. Do you understand? I'm going to keep calling you until I find who you actually are. You are not U.S. Bank. You are a scam. You are a terrorist organization. That is what you are at this point. You're a domestic group of terrorists. That's what you are. You're a domestic group of terrorists. That's what you're doing. Who is your point of contact? That's a very easy question. Who is your point of contact? Who do you get on the phone with me?
Benjamin. All right. So at this point, I would ask that you step into any of our bank branches of the okay?
Yeah, there is no. We're not doing that. I'm going to figure out who you are. We're going to figure out who you are. And I'm going to go to a judge. And I'm also going to contact the FBI again because I've already called the FBI. And you can be charged for terrorism. Do you know what terrorism is? Do you understand what terrorism is?
The more you call, the more ridiculous you look and sound. The reason why you sound and look more ridiculous is that most people are ready to assist you, and you make it difficult for that to happen.
I mean, hold on. So I don't have to have a card to call you and tell you you're under investigation. No, I don't. I don't have a card yet. Who in your bank does the card? Your bank is issued by a card. Your card is issued by the bank. So you done pissed me off enough when I'm mixing up my damn words. You're a scam. That's what this is. I'm a federal agent. I'm going to go ahead and charge you with terrorism. I'm going to get the FBI on the phone and you're being charged for terrorism.
You've said this over and over again.
Yeah, and I've already called the FBI about this and they're aware of the situation. I'm the real deal. You sound like you're coming from Africa. You have an African accent.
You sound like a broken record at your point.
No, I don't. Keep being a smart ass. Fucking idiot. Sorry for the Landreds. Sorry. Please do not flag my video for that. It pisses me off dealing with scammers. That guy, by the way, is from Africa, in case he is. That's not any kind of...
I didn't hear anything. Please enter.
Really?
Please hold while we transfer you to a
That's not a
customer
bad
service
comment. He
representative.
actually is from Africa. He's from Central Africa. But I've already dealt with him. Come on. Seriously, you stupid automated system. They're not even U.S. Bank anyway. They're a scam. So I'm tired of dealing with these people. They're going to be charged for terrorism. I'm a federal agent. I'm going to go ahead and get the FBI involved on this. I've already called them. They can be charged for terrorism. And we're going to figure out what to do next. That's what we're going to do. Thank you for watching my video. I probably exceeded some kind of limit or something. It's been an hour and 9 minutes. If you've stayed this long, thank you. So...